Let's get started. Your go-to channel for the quickest updates in Formula One has 3 exciting stories for you. To keep ahead of the competition, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. The Monaco Grand Prix weekend was far from ideal for Red Bull. The tight and twisty nature of the Monte Carlo circuit exposed clear weaknesses in their RB21, which struggled throughout the weekend. Max Verstappen, despite his best efforts, managed to finish only in 4th place, a result that highlighted the team's ongoing issues on circuits that demand a more aggressive driving approach and excellent handling over curbs. What stood out even more was that these limitations persisted, despite Red Bull bringing a major update package to the car. Expectations had been high that the upgrades would help them close the gap to their rivals, especially in low-speed conditions, yet the car continued to show signs of discomfort. In qualifying, where the drivers needed to extract every ounce of performance, particularly over the curbs, this has become a pattern on tighter tracks and raised important questions about the true competitiveness of the RB21. So, what does the team have to say about these ongoing issues? The RB21 hasn't been fully fixed, but there has been a lot of improvement. According to team principal Christian Horner, he stressed that the car no longer exhibits the aggressive, bouncing, or porpoising behavior that dogged it the previous season, and that it performs noticeably better on high-speed circuits, where aerodynamic efficiency is more important. In this regard, McLaren has done an impressive job of creating a well-balanced car that excels on various layouts, while the RB21 remains more comfortable on fast, flowing tracks and still struggles in tighter, more technical layouts. Despite these challenges, Horner clarified that Formula One cars are not built for a single type of track, but are developed to perform consistently across a wide range of circuits. The characteristics of the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya should suit the RB21 better than Monaco, and the team is hopeful that they can extract stronger results. Horner made it clear that Red Bull has no intention of abandoning its development direction. The team is fully committed to the current concept and will continue refining it throughout the season. He is still hopeful that the upcoming race in Barcelona could offer a turning point. Marc announced the implementation of a new FIA directive that aims to reduce the flexibility of front wings. Horner is cautiously optimistic that this could lead to a change in the competitive hierarchy and that Red Bull might benefit from these changes if other teams, especially those that use more flexible aerodynamic solutions, find it difficult to adjust to the new regulations. Horner thinks the changes could allow Red Bull to return to more frequent race-winning contention. The idea is that as the calendar shifts to circuits that are better suited to the car's strengths and the team continues its development path, they will be able to challenge at the front once more. What do you think? Will Red Bull be able to recover and regain their winning form in the upcoming races, or do you think the problems are more serious and could hold them back for the remainder of the season? Hello friends, here's a brief but crucial update from the ever-changing world of Formula One, where the landscape may be about to undergo some significant changes soon. Make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so we can provide you with daily straightforward updates. A story from the respected German tabloid Bild claims that a big development is developing behind the scenes. Christian Horner, the current team principal of Red Bull Racing, has reportedly been approached by Ferrari. The information suggests that the Ferrari leadership has grown increasingly dissatisfied with the performance and management of their current team principal, Frederick Vasseur, particularly due to the lackluster results in the opening races of this season. As the report outlines, Ferrari is actively exploring options beyond their existing setup should Vasseur fail to deliver the expected improvements in the near future. In that context, Horner, one of the most successful and longest-serving team principals in Formula One, naturally emerged as a prime candidate on Ferrari's radar. The rumor mill doesn't stop there. Bild claims that during informal conversations, Horner expressed his current commitment to Red Bull, emphasizing that he does not foresee himself leaving the team anytime soon. He reportedly underscored his long-term vision for Red Bull, particularly focusing on preparing for the sweeping regulatory changes coming in 2026. These include the introduction of new power unit regulations and the much-anticipated partnership with Ford, which will mark a new era for Red Bull Racing as both a chassis and engine manufacturer. However, as all seasoned Formula One fans know, this sport is famously unpredictable. Allegiances shift, opportunities emerge unexpectedly, and what may seem improbable today can quickly become reality tomorrow. The dynamics at Red Bull have been anything but stable recently, with internal tensions linked to performance inconsistencies, the departure of Adrian Newey, and uncertainties about Max Verstappen's long-term future at the team. Ferrari's interest in Horner is therefore not entirely surprising, with Red Bull navigating through a period of transition and Ferrari seeking to reignite their championship ambitions after years of falling short. The allure of a seasoned leader like Horner could be tempting for both parties, even if public denials are in place for now. At the same time, it is important to recognize that Christian Horner's identity is deeply intertwined with Red Bull Racing. He has been at the helm since the team's inception in 2005, overseeing their meteoric rise to multiple constructors and drivers' championships. His strategic vision, leadership style, and ability to manage both engineering innovation and complex driver dynamics have been essential to Red Bull's sustained success. Would he really consider abandoning all of that to take on the immense challenge of leading Ferrari, a team with notoriously complex internal politics and intense media scrutiny? Or is this just another episode of Formula One's perennial game of high-stakes poker, with teams probing for weaknesses and individuals quietly weighing their options? So with all these factors in play, what do you think? Could Christian Horner truly leave Red Bull in the near future and choose to lead Ferrari, or will this Italian interest ultimately come to nothing, leaving Horner to continue his long-term project with Red Bull as they prepare for the next era of Formula One? Please share your ideas in the comments section below. We'll be keeping a close eye on this subject and will provide you with the most recent updates here. Keep checking back because, as you are likely already aware, the upcoming Spanish Grand Prix will bring a new technical directive that could upend the Formula One grid's hierarchy. The update focuses on the front wing flexibility tests, which will now be much more rigorous. The FIA's objective is clear: to get rid of the so-called flexi wings, which have been the subject of increasing controversy in recent races. Although these parts have theoretically remained legal, McLaren and Mercedes have been accused of taking advantage of regulatory ambiguities by creating wings that pass all static FIA tests yet seem to act differently during races. So far, complaints from rival teams, most notably Red Bull, have pushed the FIA to act. Until now, these wings complied with all required assessments, but during races, cameras and data seemed to show noticeable flexing that gave aerodynamic advantages, especially on straights and in cornering stability. Starting in Spain, the FIA will apply tougher procedures. The tolerance for wing movement during these tests has been drastically reduced. Any car that exceeds the new limits will be considered non-compliant and consequently illegal to race. F1 expert Paolo Felicetti believes that this change could lead to immediate consequences. He suggests that Red Bull and Ferrari stand to benefit the most. Ferrari, in particular, had attempted to incorporate a flexible wing during the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix. However, the solution didn't perform as expected, and the team ultimately continued developing their car without relying on wing flexibility. This puts them in a favorable position, as their aerodynamic balance hasn't been dependent on the kind of front wing movement now being outlawed. On the other hand, Mclaren's recent improvements have been largely credited to their use of advanced wing flex techniques. Their car has shown impressive straight-line speed while maintaining strong cornering performance, a balance many believe is made possible by these dynamic aerodynamic components. With a new directive in place, Mercedes and McLaren may have to modify their setups, which might have an impact on their vehicles' top speeds, total drag levels, and most importantly, their delicate aerodynamic balance. Experts point out a specific concern: the car's rear-end stability. As the front wings become more rigid and less capable of adapting dynamically to airflow, the increased front-end downforce may push the car's nose down too much. This in turn lifts the rear slightly, reducing the effectiveness of the ground effect created by the rear floor and diffuser. The result could be unpredictable handling and a loss of rear traction, especially concerning on high-speed circuits like Barcelona. Teams will need to go back to the drawing board to develop solutions that keep the car balanced and controllable under the new constraints. Some drivers like Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc may adapt quickly to the shift due to their driving styles. However, since Red Bull and Ferrari aren't as reliant on flexible front wings, their setups might require fewer adjustments. The real test, however, will come on track. While some analysts predict a shakeup in the current hierarchy, others believe the changes will result in only minor gains and losses, fractions of a second per lap, that nonetheless could be pivotal in such a competitive field.